Membangun ekologi seni yang bergairah adalah mimpi setiap bangsa. Kehadiran museum seni tentu saja menjadi salah satu faktor pendorong agar anak bangsa terus berkarya. Tak hanya menjadi ruang bagi seniman untuk merepresentasikan karya seni, tetapi juga sebagai wadah bagi publik untuk mendapatkan edukasi. Itulah salah satu visi dan misi dari Modern and Contemporary Art in Nusantara atau Museum MACAN, yakni mendukung pendidikan dalam negeri melalui karya seni. Museum MACAN yang berlokasi di Jakarta ini memang menjadi buah bibir bagi banyak kalangan dalam beberapa waktu terakhir. Selain memberikan program pendidikan seni, daya tarik Museum MACAN yang lain adalah menampilkan koleksi seni yang berbalut dengan konsep kontemporer dan modern. Pengunjung seolah diajak mengarungi perkembangan seni modern dan kontemporer, baik dari dalam maupun luar negeri. Semua koleksi yang dipamerkan milik Haryanto Adikusumo, sang pemilik Yayasan Museum MACAN. Karya-karya kelas atas kreasi seniman Andy Warhol, Yayoi Kusama, Mas Riyadi, dan Raden Saleh Syarif Bustaman bisa dinikmati para pengunjung. Berkat konsep modern yang diusung inilah, Museum MACAN menjadi magnet bagi pengunjung yang mayoritas adalah generasi milenial. Namun, besarnya minat masyarakat tentu saja tidak bisa dihitung dengan jumlah kunjungan museum. Oleh sebab itu, dibutuhkan partisipasi aktif dari masyarakat untuk selalu berkontribusi dalam berbagai program yang ditawarkan museum seni atau institut terkait lainnya. Keterlibatan masyarakat secara tidak langsung akan membangun sinergi positif dalam pengembangan seni dan budaya di Indonesia. Yoga Gotama, CNN Indonesia.
Indonesia sekarang bisa berbangga karena untuk pertama kalinya kita memiliki museum yang memamerkan karya seni yang internasional dan berkualitas. Di Jakarta Barat saat ini sudah ada museum baru namanya Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art of Nusantara, disingkat sebagai Museum MACAN, dan untuk pertama kalinya publik ya bisa menikmati karya-karya seni baik dari seniman internasional maupun dari Indonesia dengan membayar Rp50.000 saja. Dan tentu saja bagi Anda para pecinta seni dan juga mungkin yang ingin lebih mengenal dan mengapresiasi seni, ini sebuah lokasi yang perlu dikunjungi. Nah, untuk mengetahui lebih lanjut apa-apa saja yang ditawarkan oleh museum ini, apa-apa saja pameran yang sedang diadakan, saya sudah ditemani oleh Direktur dari Museum MACAN, Aaron Seeto, yang aslinya dari Australia, tapi saat ini sudah ada di Jakarta. Hi Aaron, how are you? I was just saying that we're all very excited here because it's for the first time Indonesia can have a museum of this kind, a museum of this caliber, exhibiting amazing works of art, famous historical works of art, both by Indonesian artists as well as international artists. And you are hailing all the way from Australia.
Not so far.
Yeah. so far. So tell us a little bit about, what can the visitor find when they come here and visit?
So Museum MACAN is the first of its kind here in Indonesia, and when people come here, what they will find is a purpose-built museum. Something which has been made specifically to present and to house art. The museum environment is something very special. We have to, in a place like Jakarta.
I know, it feels really special.
Also,
the lighting
we need to be able to control the humidity. We need to be able to control the temperature, because the role of the museum is not just to present artwork, but also to make sure that we preserve and look after it for the future. This is one of the very important roles that museums play in societies all around the world.
But what is the actual, maybe we can walk around,
Yeah.
because that way we can have an idea of the space itself. How big is this space, and how many paintings or
Sure.
works of arts and sculptures
So
can we
the
contain?
entire facility, there's about 4,000 square meters.
4,000? That's
We have around 2,500 square meters of gallery spaces. So this is that's the area that visitors get to see. The other bits are the behind the scenes. It's the conservation, it's the education, it's the offices. So what they will see is a purpose-built building, as I said. I mean, the museum has been designed by the London-based design group called Met Studio. And in fact, it's the first Indonesian commission. It is modern in the sense that it takes on all of those expectations that people have in a museum for it to have kind of white walls. But there are a few there are a few tricks that happen. So some big architectural features that I think are some of the become quite iconic for this museum.
Yeah, it feels like I can be anywhere, in New York, in Australia, in
Jakarta.
Now in Jakarta, and we're all very, very excited about this space. But tell us a little bit about the initial sort of and the collection, because as far as I know, the initiator is actually a businessman, someone who loves art and who's collected arts from all over the world. And what was the sort of impetus to actually create or put something like this together?
Sure. So our founder has been collecting for about 25 years. And right from the beginning, the collection is internationally facing. So of course, Indonesia is such an important part of the museum's collection. I mean, we can tell the story from the late 19th century through to today. But at the same time, the collection has work from all around the world. So it looks at the way in which Indonesia interfaces with other territories. It's very, very important because how we live now in the 21st century is connected.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is a very important part of the educational story that we can tell, is that we have all of these international and global networks that have been happening almost from the formation right from the beginning of Indonesia. So the collection is special in that way. It tells a very special story, but it also has some really important works. Works that probably Indonesians haven't seen for a long time.
Yes, and I recognize some of them, very famous work. Andy Warhol, Jeff Koons, Basquiat. I mean, these are normally stuff that you see, in modern art museums elsewhere.
Well, we're very lucky to have these here. I think that not just Indonesians, but also our colleagues all around the world have been quite pleasantly surprised by the depths of this collection, and it truly is something remarkable. We want to, in the future, be able to use the collection to drive education. Art education in particular.
Tell me a little bit more about the education, because I notice in some of them, the descriptions which are particularly directed towards children.
Of course.
So is this a part of the educational aspect of the museum?
So education is actually one of the foundations of the museum. The whole initiation of the museum was to help support education here in Indonesia, and especially art education. I mean, we know all around the world that appreciating and understanding art helps us to be more innovative, helps us to be more empathetic, and to learn about the ways in which we are both similar and different to people all around the world, to looking at the ways in which our histories intersect with broader global discussions. So education is very important also here in Indonesia, because as a developing country, we want our young people to have a completely different outlook on the world as they move through, and as jobs in the future will change. I mean, it's very important for us to support those kinds of activities now, especially for young people as they grow up. They may not be interested in art in the future, but
it has to start somewhere.
Indeed.
And also, appreciating art is something that you have to educate by exposing them to all sorts of arts. And we've seen here also the Indonesian masters, like, the Hendra Gunawans, and then you have the Afandis, and you have, of course, Basuki. And let me ask you a little bit about, when you talk about education, what do you envisage, and how, for what age group, and how would the children interact with the paintings? Or
Sure. Well, actually, one of the the very important programs that we have is actually a space in the museum called the Children's Art Space. And this is an area of the museum where we commission an artist to make a work specifically for kids. So it's a way where we can demystify some of the processes of artists, some of their ideas, not just for kids but also for their parents. We want education to be lifelong. We want kids to be able to do this with their parents. So that's one of the very, very important programs that we run, as well as bringing school groups into the museum. We constantly have kids coming in. We've got one of the first departments that we established in the museum was actually an education department. So even before we opened, our teams have been going out to local schools to talk to teachers, to hear about their needs and the things that would make their life easier. And so we have a really holistic approach to education, from tours. We have a guidebook specifically for kids, and as you observed before, we've got labels
one of the right in Saleh. You know,
Indeed.
this is a self-portrait, especially now kids. They're very familiar with selfies. I like that kind of explanation. It's been open. Currently, there is an exhibition going on called Art Turns and World Turns. Let me ask you a little bit about the type of exhibitions that the museum will basically put together, and the particular purpose too.
Okay, so now that we've built this facility, we can actually present things in Indonesia in a way that has never been done before. So the climate control means that we can borrow things from all around the world.
So that's going to be part of
that's right. That kind of cultural exchange that happens between Indonesia and the rest of the world is important. We're building networks with other museums to work on things together, to bring things, to take Indonesian art to the world. So it will be a very mixed program.
Can you tell me a little bit about the exchanges and examples of what sort of
we're working on them right now, but my art, contemporary art in particular, is really driven by global networks. So it's driven by individuals who are talking to people all around the world. So our focus is Indonesia, but we also want to make connections to other people working in Southeast Asia. We know that museums and galleries all around the world are interested in what's going on here in Indonesia and Southeast Asia.
And we've got some very famous international artists. They sell for a lot of.
Yeah, and more than selling, they're also very interesting. I mean, we can learn a lot about how we live and the places where we live by looking at the artists, and that's what we want to do. We're locally based. We understand that we're part of a very complex and interesting region, and we wanted to be able to create those two-way dialogues with the rest.
Opening, what is visitor numbers like, and also. Who are they mostly, and all sorts of feedback.
Sure.
I'm sure that
we've had a really amazing response to the opening of the museum. We opened in early November, and on the weekends are our busiest. There are usually queues out the door. One of our key works, which is the Yayoi Infinity Room, often has queues for hours for people wanting to get in.
Who are they? Are they Jakartans, young people, or do they come also from the region?
What we are noticing is that millennials in particular.
What is visitor numbers like, and also who are they mostly, and all sorts of feedback.
Sure.
I'm sure that
we've had a really amazing response to the opening of the museum. We opened in early November, and on the weekends are our busiest. There are usually queues out the door. One of our key works, which is the Yayoi Infinity Room, often has queues for hours for people wanting to get in.
Who are they? Are they Jakartans, young people, or do they come also from the region?
What we are noticing is that millennials in particular, young people who I believe have, because of social media, are switched on to the world in a really visual way. And I think that that's something which we want to support and we want to harness. Often when people think about young people, they don't necessarily think of them as being engaged with
They're engaged with their gadgets.
That's right. But you know, they're also engaged with the world of art through their gadgets, and that's something which we're fascinated by, and which I think that we can help to lead an international discussion around social
But
media.
any follow-up discussions that you hear of, and what sort of response, and any favorite
Sure,
works of art that they like to do? You know, whether it's spend time in front or do selfies with. You know.
Well, of course, the Kasama Infinity Room is one of the key ones. But also, you know, we want we notice that people become interested in historical works alongside the contemporary works. It really is a way to open up people's minds and their eyes. So those young people are very important. We also know that young families. Who are really wanting to find alternative to malls on the weekend. But
Yes,
this is a place.
we need lots of alternatives.
You know,
and much healthier, more educational, and at the end of the day, it's also much cheaper,
That's
right?
right. Well,
50,000 rupiah for an entrance fee is not. It's not that much. I mean, has people been responding quite positively to the price, or are they complaining?
Well, you know, I think that
and can it sustain this type of gallery in the long run?
Sustainability, of course, is really, really important, and where we are working very hard to ensure that we have a sustainable model, because our success is everybody else's success. So we're working very hard. We're working very hard to do that, and we'll be rolling out some different programs. So for instance, we have a membership program. For all kinds of people, students through to the young families who can come through their membership dues. They get free access every day. So young families, we've got retirees, we've got I think a really great cross section of the.
But any target of the ideal number of visitors that the museum? It's still quite new, and everything that is new always generates a lot of interest. But in the long run, maybe when things are stabilized, what sort of numbers would you consider it?
I suppose one of the challenges of all kinds of cultural institutions is being able to maintain a consistent
interest and excitement.
And I think that this will also be determined by the types of exhibitions and the types of programs that we run. Of course, we want people to come back. We want them to be part of our education programs. I mean, the immediate response has been fantastic. On the weekends, where we have more than 2,000 people a day, each day on the weekends. Holidays are always a great time to come.
But then you have to make sure that everything's secure, right?
Of course.
So you've been here for a year now,
Yes.
Aaron. So what has it been like? What are your main challenges of actually, putting this together, running this? Because I'm sure there are all sorts of things. It's not just about paintings, about the programs as well as the people.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to have particular kind of people that help you put together the educational programs and the exhibitions and so on and so forth.
Well, the museum has a really great, young, energetic, determined staff, and I think that that's one of the really amazing. My observations is that actually the Indonesian art scene has really wanted a facility like this. Where the challenges lie are within the things that you can't always control, and so
Such as what?
The weather. The climate. I mean, that this is.
How does that affect? I mean, we know there are lots of traffic jams and so on, or is it more of the climate control?
The climate control in the museum, and I think that building a museum is a really massive engineering feat. We have to be able to control the humidity within the museum, so that we can ensure that the paintings that we have are here for the future. This is one of the big challenges, I think, for all.
Especially when you have very expensive, valuable works of art here, and they're all insured.
Yeah, of course.
But in terms of security, I mean, is that also a challenge, or has it been okay? Because when you have so many people here, and then maybe somebody wants to touch or just leave their fingerprints on the wall. I suppose been a headache?
I suppose one of the things that has been both a blessing and something which is a little bit more difficult is actually the social media. We love the fact that people want to come and they want to see the work through their screens or whatever. But I think it'll take us time to to educate people that they can also have an experience of art without a camera.
Yeah.
And that's
Like
actually
actually standing in
that's
front
right.
of it and looking at
And
it
you know,
and really...
you can have epiphanies by looking at one painting. But you know, I think that it also requires the museum to change its attitudes towards photography. You know, the world has shifted.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
You know, this is
and you can't stop people coming
No.
in and doing selfies in front of the pictures.
And
And
let's-
that's just the way things are these
and let's hope
days.
that that sparks more curiosity. I mean, that's the end game, really.
It's interesting because of the millennials, because normally when you talk about museum, it's like, oh, boring,
Yeah.
serious, and oh, I have to do it. But, you know, has it been fun for you? I mean, you are young yourself, Aaron. I mean, what's your interest? Why did you agree to do this?
Well, it has been
extremely interesting job, I'm sure. But,
It
you know,
has
what's your
been fun.
motivation?
The opportunity to run a museum is extraordinary. And I think Indonesia, you know, I've been in and out of Indonesia for a long period of time. My background is in contemporary Asian art. But the opportunity to live and work in a place means that you learn things in completely different ways. Indonesia is fascinating because of its huge diversity and its huge population. And I think the fact that we're the first of our kind here means that there is so much opportunity completely different ways of being able to present and engage with different types of publics. We're really heartened by the fact that so many people have come and visited and told their friends about what we're doing, and I think that's what makes my job so much more interesting, is when you get to talk to people from every.
But did you know much about Indonesian art before that?
Yeah,
I mean, I just want to know what your thoughts and how. I know some of the Indonesian artists are very, you know, quite well known and popular, but in general, you said that one of the important things is to get Indonesian sort of
Sure.
art and artists out there.
So
How well known and how familiar are people in the outside world about
before I
Indonesia?
was here in Indonesia, I was the head of Asian art at the Queensland Art Gallery, and they have one of the most important collections of contemporary Asian art from all over Asia. And of course, Indonesia, because of the close geographic proximity, is very important to how Australian curators and artists understand the broader world. So, but as I said before, when you live here, you have a completely different understanding of what's going on.
And sometimes you take it for granted as well.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. And so, you know, one of the things that I really hope will happen while through the museum is that we can help to channel that interest that is worldwide. You know, it's not just from Australia, it's from North America, it's from Europe. People are very curious about what's going on here in Indonesia. I mean, considering the great size of the population, I think a lot of those other places are really trying to understand what they don't understand about the world. And actually, Indonesia has a lot of slight social critique that happens within the painting. So, you know,
As you can see here.
2005.
Yeah,
you know,
everybody's already busy with their gadgets.
That's
and
right.
their-
Cross-eyed people can't see the world around them because they're looking at the screens. I mean, what's actually quite interesting is that for a lot of younger people, they don't quite know what this phone is.
Yes, it's an old version. I think it's an old Motorola,
Yeah.
you know, the flip
Yeah.
phone. Ya, beberapa lukisan yang dipamerkan di sini ternyata memiliki bukan saja nilai dan kualitas tinggi, tapi dibuat atau merupakan karya dari orang-orang terkenal. Contohnya adalah Andy Warhol. Who has not heard of Andy Warhol? Okay, so this is obviously, I mean, he was an incredible, very well-known and revolutionary artist, can we say? I mean, what can you say about having an Andy Warhol painting here in Jakarta?
Well, I mean, it's not just the fact that we have one, it's also the fact that we can show one. You know, it's about being able to present, you know, some of the key things that Warhol was about, you know, the the influence of popular culture, how popular culture changes the way in which we see the world around us. And you know, he's someone who helps to drive a lot of the future conversations about art. We're still talking about his impact and his legacy, not just in terms of America, but also here in Indonesia. I think what's really great, though, is that, I mean, people do know who Warhol was. They will have seen his images everywhere.
And he was very, I mean, he was a work of art in himself, and
Indeed.
just the way he looked, right?
But what is important is that when people come here, they can see how it's been made. You know, they can see that it's not simply, it is a flat image, but there are other things that are going on in it. There's also something quite painterly about these two, and I hope that, you know, that's what those kids who come and see it will begin to appreciate how a painting is made.
Let's take a look at the Masriati, because Masriati is also quite iconic.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an Indonesian artist that, oops. Ya, tentu saja Indonesia memiliki banyak seniman yang terkenal di dunia internasional, termasuk Inyoman Masriadi. Ini adalah salah satu karyanya yang dipamerkan di sini di Museum MACAN. Mungkin kita akan tanyakan pada Aaron. Masriadi, how do you find his painting? I mean, everything he does basically sells out.
Sure,
very
and I think that, I mean, to those people who don't know about contemporary Indonesian art will probably have heard about Masriadi because of the role that he plays in the kind of market. But what I think is really fascinating about Masriadi is that there's a very slight social critique that happens within the paintings. So, you know,
as you can see here,
2005.
Yeah, everybody's already busy with their gadgets.
That's right. Cross-eyed people can't see the world around them because they're looking at the screens. I mean, what's actually quite interesting is that for a lot of younger people, they don't quite know what this phone is.
Yes, it's an old version. I think it's an old Motorola, you know, the flip phone. So, but how is he, you know, regarded particularly in Western Europe, where he's quite popular? Well, what do they say about him, and why do they like his work?
Well, I suppose, you know, from this is the artist, and this is a period where the contemporary Indonesian art world explodes. The market is really strong. It's the thing that would have been reported all around the world in terms of the strength of the Indonesian market. But I think the other, of course, the thing that is of most interest to me as a curator is actually the way in which he's able to subvert those social observations into very discreet, refined paintings. They're very punchy paintings.
Aaron, maybe a lot of the visitors who come and take a look at his painting, they end up doing selfies in front of the picture, right?
Yes, and we should.
And we should. This museum, do you see sort of an increasing interest? Is it being covered a lot by the outside media, and they're saying, oh wow, this is something?
We've had both an amazing local response and an international response. For our opening, we had curators and museum directors from all around the world, almost from every single continent, major museums who have come and who are sending their curators and sending their research teams to learn about Indonesia. The international media response has been extraordinary as well. I mean, it's not every day that you get to open a museum, and an international art museum. And so that there has been a lot of interest, and people I think have been pleasantly surprised about the facilities, about the types of works that are on display.
Any particular favorites of yours?
It's the wrong question
because all of them.
But you know, I think you constantly get surprised. One of the things that, if not favorites, one of the things that I've really enjoyed about working on this exhibition is the ways in which the curators also put different works together. So we've got Jean-Michel Basquiat next to Heridono. And these two, Heridono is a very important contemporary Indonesian artist, and these works are only about 4 years apart. These types of relationships, the Rothko next to the Srihadi, it draws out completely different
So
conversations.
there is that equality. It's not like one is better than the others, but I find that interesting.
Well, I think that the museum doesn't really play those favorites.
Yeah.
I think that you can learn a lot from looking at all types of art. One of the things that we have done in this, the curators have done in this exhibition, is to develop a research project which is mapping out 100 years of exhibitions in Indonesia. So it's the role of the museum is not just to present an exhibition where people can come, but also to add to the research and to build a platform where other people can come in and have critical dialogue with us and build something for the broader art scene.
Now the owner, Haryanto Atmokusumo, the businessman and the founder, I mean, any special message that either, Aaron, make sure ABC, or any message or any what sort of vision,
we work very closely with the foundation to implement this museum. I mean, I think he has such a great affinity to so many of the works. We're only showing maybe about 10% of the collection.
Yeah.
So
I hear he's got like 800.
There's about 800 works in the collection. So it's been quite eye-opening for him and also for us to finally see works on the wall. And when you see things on the wall, you see things that you haven't seen before. You understand things that you haven't perceived about an artwork before. And I think that process of discovery is also really
Now there's a current exhibition, it's called Art Turns, World Turns, Dunia Berputar, Seni Berputar, Dunia Berputar. Just quickly, I mean, the concept, I know there are sort of the 4 areas, just a quick sort of summary of what the exhibition is about and what would you expect people to get from it.
So the curators Charles Escher from the Van Abbe Van Abbe Museum in the Netherlands, and Agung Hujanika, who's a local art historian and curator, who have made the exhibition for us. Art Turns, World Turns, it's all in the title. What it says is that the relationship between the history of art and the history of the world are intertwined. And we see this very clearly in Indonesia, the role that artists play in the emergence of Indonesia's independence, the role that artists play in articulating social issues or political issues, not just in Indonesia but all around the world. That there is it talks about the role of artists in our society and in our histories.
And especially in Indonesia, very important when it comes to their role in independence.
Of course, yeah.
Some very powerful work here as well. Okay, Aaron, I mean, it's been great talking to you, and we're very happy to have this type of place in a museum that all of us here in Indonesia, especially not just art lovers, but when you loving something is if you're exposed to it. And I'm sure now that there is a museum like this, more and more people
we
can
hope
grow
to share.
love,
We really hope to share.
Appreciate the works of art, not just from Indonesia, of course, all over the world. Your own particular thoughts. How do you see this place? 5, 10 years from now, and
I think that this place will have a big impact, not just on the local scene, in the sense that it'll help to give people more confidence about being able to talk about their own histories, but it will also play a role in that international development as well. We will facilitate those cultural exchanges. We're already talking to museums and researchers and curators about working on projects, bringing things in, making sure that Indonesian artists have the opportunities to go out. So that's something very exciting and to look forward to for the future.
Great talking to you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Good luck. And setelah yang berikut ini tentu Anda ingin mengetahui apa kira-kira respons dari para pelaku seni, baik dari senimannya maupun kuratornya terhadap kehadiran sebuah museum ini yang bisa memamerkan karya-karya seni mereka. Tetaplah bersama Insight. para pengunjung awam ya,
Ya.
bagaimana memulai dia belajar mengapresiasi sebuah karya seni? Itu kan pasti ada cara-caranya.
Oh,
Bisa
iya.
dijelaskan? Karena ini akan
Oh,
membuat
oke.
pengalaman melihat suatu karya seni itu jauh lebih menarik dan jauh lebih ya, mencerahkan lah. Iya, bagaimana pendapat mereka yang berkecimpung di dunia seni terhadap kehadiran Museum MACAN ini, Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art of Nusantara. Saya sudah ditemani oleh seorang kurator independen, Sally Texania. Dan terakhir, Sally mengkuratori pameran yang berlangsung di Istana. Halo Sally, apa
Halo, Mbak
kabar?
Desi, baik.
Saya saja orang awam,
Iya.
pecinta seni, tapi sangat excited dengan kehadiran museum macam ini. Ini bagaimana dari Anda seorang kurator yang selama ini juga mungkin sangat dekat ya dengan para seniman di Indonesia?
Kita tentunya menyambut baik space seperti ini karena memang kalau kita lihat 10 tahun belakangan itu mulai ada pergeseran ya. Jadi mungkin bukan pergeseran, lebih tepatnya perluasan apresiasi dari kalangan khusus ke kalangan yang umum gitu. Nah, sepertinya tempat-tempat seperti inilah yang dapat mengakomodasi apresiasi umum tersebut.
Tapi impresi pertamanya, apalagi ketika sekarang kan ada pameran ya di sini,
Iya.
Art Turn, The World Turns. Ini
Iya.
apa Anda sebagai seorang kurator yang mungkin melihat wah ini karya seninya sepertinya menarik dan lain sebagainya?
Ya pasti pertamanya happy dulu. Tapi kemudian memang saya berpikir, wah ini kayaknya bakalan banyak PR juga. Begitu, karena kan memang kita masih di awal mengalami, untuk saya ini kayak boom apresiasi umum. Begitu, nah nanti apresiasi umum itu seperti apa? Tentunya penangannya berbeda dengan masa-masa sebelumnya, di mana apresiasi itu khusus, hanya orang-orang yang memang suka seni, hanya akademisi, dan hanya seniman-seniman lagi. Kalau umum itu kan kita akan berkomunikasi dengan cara yang berbeda.
Tapi ini apakah akan ada pengaruh ya terhadap mungkin karya-karya seniman saat ini kan mereka kekurangan inilah ruang ya, space, galeri, museum dan lain sebagainya. Dengan kehadiran ini respons mereka lebih produktif, lebih tertarik atau apa?
Mungkin kalau soal itu adalah peningkatan kualitas, karena sebenarnya secara space kita hampir tidak kurang. Justru karena
Tapi yang didedikasikan khusus ya untuk ke karya-karya seperti ini?
Karena mereka biasanya kan seniman itu bergerak di komunitas mereka, punya ruang pameran sendiri. Jadi ruangannya udah ada, tapi untuk mengupgrade lagi itu gimana sih gitu. Karena kan di ruangan ini kan mungkin kita bisa lihat perbandingan seniman Indonesia yang menginternasional dan seniman internasional gitu. Jadi lebih ke arah edukasi ya. Jadi edukasi untuk yang praktisi seninya tuh di arah situ.
Nah ternyata lumayan ya ininya. Animo para pengunjungnya katanya bisa sampai 2.000 orang per hari dan kebanyakan juga menurut Aaron ya direkturnya banyak milenial. Sally sendiri melihat bagaimana perkembangan apresiasi terhadap seni, karya seni di Indonesia. Tapi mengatakan boom, ini sejak kapan? Apakah atau memang ada boom terhadap apresiasi?
Untuk apresiasi sepertinya ya, kalau untuk pengamatan saya waktu itu kita pernah ada pameran di Galeri Nasional, pameran Raden Saleh. Itu seakan-akan apa ya, anak yang sudah hilang kembali lagi ke Indonesia gitu. Jadi tiba-tiba orang Indonesia tuh bangga, oh iya ya orang Indonesia tuh hebat juga ya gitu. Tapi kan dulu cuman bisa kita akses let's say di Belanda atau di sini di ruang-ruang privat yang nggak semua orang tahu. Tadi yang seperti saya bilang biasanya ahli-ahli aja deh yang lihat ke sana gitu. Nah itu setelah itu saya lihat memang ada peminatan yang luas. Itu pertama, dan kedua memang sosial media sih.
Iya, sosial media sangat berpengaruh ya, dan apalagi sekarang kalau hal yang baru itu biasanya mendapat perhatian yang khusus ya bagi orang ini. Di Indonesia sendiri edukasi terhadap seni dan karya seni, apresiasi ini Anda lihat bagaimana? Apakah ada peningkatan atau mungkin karena ini merupakan ya tren itu, kalau ada yang memulai baru kemudian banyak pengikutnya?
Saya rasa ini suatu gelombang yang bisa ditangkap juga oleh berbagai stakeholder, bisa pemerintah, bisa juga pelaku seni, bahwa mungkin pendidikan seni itu sudah harus sejak dini. Biasanya saya ingat sih waktu dulu kayak malah petaka banget nih masuk seni rupa nih anak-anak ini begitu ya.
Iya.
Waduh, Pak akunya menjadi seniman.
Wah,
Hancur
nanti
loh
jadi
sudah
miskin
masa
nanti,
depannya.
masa depan
Hancur
suram.
gitu kan. Cuman sebenarnya dengan apresiasi ini jadi ada konsumsi yang berbeda kan. Jadi pameran bisa jadi media orang berdiskusi. Kedua, untuk edukasi itu juga sebenarnya kalau di luar sudah ada latihan critical thinking dengan melihat karya seni gitu. Jadi nggak cuman guru datang ini tentang ibu ini melakukan ini gitu, tapi kita justru bertanya kepada siswa, bagaimana menurut kamu? Sedangkan kan pendidikan kita biasanya kita
Ini dilukis pada tanggal sekian oleh pelukis ini,
Iya,
tapi
betul.
tanpa ada pendalaman atau koneksi lah yang dibangun ya.
Iya, dan saya rasa jadinya mungkin untuk tidak semua orang ingin menjadi seniman, tidak semua orang pengen tahu banget tentang sejarah seni, tapi semua orang ingin membangkitkan nalar daya pikir. Jadi aku rasa mungkin daripada hanya di kelas, siswa di SD itu misalnya merancang sesuatu, tapi bisa mulai ke ruang-ruang publik seperti ini dan mencoba berpikir saat melihat karya seni.
Iya, dan yang saya ketahui tadi dari Aaron, edukasi merupakan bagian yang sangat penting ya dengan kehadiran museum ini untuk meningkatkan apresiasi, tapi dengan cara-cara khusus itu sendiri. Nah, Anda kan tidak banyak loh yang kurator ya
Iya.
di Indonesia ini. Bagi para pengunjung awam ya, bagaimana memulai belajar mengapresiasi sebuah karya seni? Itu kan pasti ada cara-caranya.
Oh,
Bisa
iya.
dijelaskan? Karena ini akan
Oh,
membuat
oke.
pengalaman melihat suatu karya seni itu jauh lebih menarik dan jauh lebih ya, mencerahkan lah.
Sebenarnya pertama adalah jangan merasa takut atau jangan merasa tidak ngerti seni. Nah itu udah biasanya momoknya pertamanya
Iya.
itu. Kedua, aduh nggak ngerti tapi takut. Biasanya kita waktu masuk ruang eksibisi itu di depan akan ada keterangan. Di sana ada keterangan itulah yang bisa membantu kita masuk ke karya-karya seni itu, yaitu catatan-catatan kuratorial. Mudah-mudahan zaman sekarang catatan kuratorial nggak bikin pusing. Kalau zaman dulu itu katanya, aduh aku males Sel baca itu, soalnya pusing. Kayaknya tuh bahasanya tinggi banget gitu ya. Sedangkan sekarang aku rasa sudah mulai ada adaptasi ruang-ruang seperti ini untuk dipahami secara populer. Lalu ya jalan-jalan aja dan lihat, dirasakan dengan penglihatan sendiri.
Tapi caranya itu bagaimana? Karena kalau misalnya lukisan yang ada aspek sejarahnya kan kita bisa lah, oh ini dilukis karena pada saat itu ada semangat ingin merdeka dan ini merupakan perjuangan dan lain sebagainya. Sekarang ini kan lebih modern, kontemporer ya.
Ya,
Mungkin
ya.
definisinya itu apa, dan banyak sekali ya ketika kita melihat karya-karya itu harus ada semacam pemahaman terhadap konteks sehingga ada meaningnya. Kalau tidak kan hanya jadi
Iya.
benda-benda. Ini maksudnya apa ya? Atau ini bentuknya apa gitu. Ini bagaimana
Iya,
nih,
betul.
Sally?
Saya sih masih kembali ke teks-teks kuratorial atau kita bisa ngobrol dengan penjaga di pameran tersebut. Begitu, dan kadang-kadang apalagi kalau soal seni ya sebenarnya seni itu jadi oke karena biasanya dia punya makna-makna yang cukup universal. Gitu. Jadi tidak usah takut. Biasanya orang itu jadi malas ke ke pameran karena aduh takut saya nggak ngerti gitu. Cuman
Apalagi kalau ada
sebenarnya
instalasi yang
Oh,
dianggap "Wah,
iya.
ini apa ya? Gitu.
betul. Tapi saya rasa dengan pertama membaca kuratorial, kedua berani ngobrol. Kadang-kadang kan sebenarnya kita ke pameran tuh juga untuk bersosialisasi loh, nggak hanya untuk belajar. Seni-seni internasional biasanya sudah punya ruang-ruang established yang bisa membantu ketahanan karya tersebut sebagai produk budaya gitu. Sedangkan kalau kita itu biasanya disimpan di gudang kan.
Iya.
Gitu loh, karya-karya seni atau nggak kelihatan, oh itu ternyata penting ya. Oh yaudah kita pajang misalnya. Begitu. Nah itu ininya gitu. Jadi sebenarnya jangan takut aja sih intinya.
Nah,
gitu.
Sally sendiri bagaimana? Kok mau atau dan akhirnya bisa lah profesinya itu sebagai kurator? Apa tahap-tahap yang ini kan berarti ada pencerahan
Iya, iya.
mengenai wah ini ternyata menarik ini berbicara kepada saya ini profesi ini.
Kalau jadi kurator memang sebenarnya rata-rata ini klasik sih cerita kurator rata-rata kecelakaan. Rata-rata kecelakaan gitu ya. Tapi pertama tuh
Bukan cita-cita
seneng
dari
banget.
kecil ya.
Iya, belum. Waktu itu cita-cita kecilnya saya lupa cita-cita waktu masih kecil tuh apa. Cuman yang pasti saya pernah mengalami pertukaran pelajar. Lalu melalui pertukaran pelajar itu baru pertama kali saya mendengar seni itu bukan hobi aja, memang bisa serius. Begitu. Dan di aspek lain adalah itu keilmuan, itu tidak hanya senang-senang gitu. Dan saya kan dulu basicnya IPA, jadi begitu dengar, oh ada pengukuran terhadap seni, wah ini sesuatu yang tidak terukur tapi bisa kuukur, aduh itu senang banget. Jadi akhirnya aku mendalami untuk menjadi kurator gitu, karena kan sebenarnya pelatihan awal kurator itu adalah kita latihan juga mengukur. Gitu.
Dan untuk itu kan jadi harus paham mana sih istilahnya karya seni yang berkualitas atau yang kurang, yang orisinil dan lain sebagainya. Di ruangan sini banyak sekali karya-karya dari pelukis Indonesia, tapi juga karya-karya dari pelukis internasional yang memang nama-namanya kan cukup luar biasa ya, seperti Andy Warhol, Basquiat, dan Jeff Koons dan lain sebagainya. Anda sendiri bagaimana melihat karya seni artis-artis seniman Indonesia dibanding dengan internasional, atau apakah sebenarnya karya seni tidak bisa dibanding?
Pertama mungkin perbandingannya perihal konteks, biasanya tidak bisa langsung dibandingkan. Tetapi mungkin karena sekarang saya memang lagi mendalami seni rupa Indonesia, jadi untuk saya tetap lebih spesial seni rupa Indonesia. Apalagi mungkin kalau untuk seni-seni internasional biasanya sudah punya ruang-ruang established yang bisa membantu ketahanan karya tersebut sebagai produk budaya gitu. Sedangkan kalau kita itu biasanya disimpan di gudang kan, gitu loh, karya-karya seni atau nggak kelihatan, oh itu ternyata penting ya, oh yaudah kita pajang misalnya, begitu. Nah itu jadi ruang seperti ini utamanya bagi saya tetap untuk pelaku seni di Indonesia dan juga apresiasi seni di Indonesia.
Nah definisi dari modern dan kontemporer khususnya yang mencerminkan karya seni dari seni rupawan atau seniman Indonesia itu apa? Yang bisa mengatakan oh ini modern, ini kontemporer, atau ini klasik, atau ini abstrak, atau apa?
Kita bisa mulai dari membedakan yang modern dan kontemporer aja dulu ya gitu, karena mungkin ini agak oversimplified, tapi memang kita harus mulai dari yang simple dulu. Jadi modern itu biasanya seni rupanya itu berhubungan dengan fine art. Definisi fine art itu seni-seni yang masuk situ adalah patung dan lukis. Untuk Indonesia dari periode pengkaryaan biasanya sebelum tahun 70. Lalu untuk kontemporer biasanya dia sudah mulai ada pencampuran media. Kita bisa sebut mix media, instalasi. Instalasi itu juga sebenarnya perluasan dari patung. Jadi nggak susah itu kok. Gitu. Jadi itu seperti patung tapi yang diperluas gitu kalau instalasi. Jadi kita bisa lihatnya dari situ.
Nah, biasanya kalau karya seni itu kan ya sesuai dengan zamannya, ada konteksnya. Sekarang kita masuk fase apa kalau kita melihat dari sisi gelombangnya, ataupun ada mazhab-mazhab kan ya, kalau di Indonesia khususnya di Jawa ini ada yang karya seniman dari Bandung, ya saya lihat tadi ada karya Rahmayani kan, tapi ada yang dari Jogja, walaupun dia juga sekarang tinggalnya di Jogja. Apa yang sekarang menjadi concern dari seniman Indonesia?
Kalau sekarang itu sepertinya kalau secara media ya, karena kita lihat sekarang ada perluasan apresiasi ke ruang publik umum gitu. Tapi di saat yang sama seni itu juga ingin mulai berhubungan dengan masyarakat yang lebih luas lagi. Jadi media-medianya itu sebenarnya pola ini sudah ada di tahun 70-an, di mana seniman postmodern pengen lebih dekat dengan masyarakat, makanya kita dengar Rahmayani dan teman-teman. Tapi kecenderungan itu kan ada naik turun. Tahun ini itu saya rasa udah makin besar lagi kecenderungannya itu ke arah performance dan instalasi secara media. Kita bisa lihat di Jiwa kemarin di Jakarta Biennale itu kuat sekali performativitasnya.
Apalagi sekarang dengan adanya teknologi, jadi mediumnya kan juga bisa jauh lebih variatif ya.
Betul sekali.
Sally, ini kan koleksi dari seorang pecinta seni tapi juga seorang businessman ya.
Iya, betul.
Dan banyak sekali karya di sini kan berharga lah istilahnya.
Iya.
Dan pasti diasuransi. Apa yang membuat ya, ini kan Anda sebagai kurator yang membuat ini karya seni ini pasti ada nilainya yang lebih dari yang lain, atau oh ini pasti akan digemari dan lain sebagainya. Ini kan harus ada mata yang khusus yang bisa melihat apa ini ciri-ciri.
Itu biasanya
khasnya.
yang mengatur, maksud saya yang mengukur itu adalah bagian kuratorial tentunya dan bagian orang-orang yang bekerja di art market. Kalau dalam kapasitas saya akan mengatakan ada seniman, kita pasti tahu dia periode karyanya berapa lama, lalu yang pencapaian si seniman itu di titik mana. Nah itu biasanya itulah bagian-bagian paling berharga. Begitu. Tapi mungkin untuk pengkoleksian, kalau kita lihat dari media berkaryanya, itu kan ada yang kesejarahan, ada juga yang performanya bagus di market.
Tapi apa yang biasanya mereka cari? Karena ini kan mau tidak mau masih berkaitan dengan ya apresiasi terhadap seni itu sendiri kan?
Ya betul.
Apa biasanya? Apakah originalitasnya atau temanya atau sehingga ya dia menjadi digemari lah dan laku karyanya?
Oke, ada karya yang memang misalnya pencapaian artistik si senimannya. Itu kalau kita lihat seniman-seniman yang studio base banget gitu ya. Ada juga yang ke arah aktivisme, itu biasanya ya pencapaian dia tuh konteksnya lagi
misalnya seperti kita lihat yang
kapan.
Hendra Gunawan yang dengan dia kan pada saat itu kan PKI dan sehingga
ada konteks sosial di luar seniman.
Tema-temanya kan yang lebih rakyat misalnya. Tapi kalau yang sekarang ini kontemporer apa yang dianggap itu valuable? Apakah misalnya ini otomatis kalau Heridono ya pasti mahal atau berkualitas, atau kalau Mas Riyadi pasti, atau Entang Warso pasti gitu, atau sudah atau terus menerus berubah Sally?
Aku rasa kalau buat yang itu kontemporernya udah masuk yang established ya, jadi sudah ada faktor kesejarah, track record. Kalau yang baru-baru itu tadi saya bilang relatif, ada yang memang pencapaian artistiknya luar biasa, ada yang memang bagaimanapun sudah market driven itu ada di mana-mana, jadi itu bisa terjadi. Bisa jadi yang mungkin seniman-seniman ini sebenarnya nggak oke-oke banget sih secara sejarah, total harganya melambung begitu. Jadi sebenarnya ya karya seni itu nggak, memang ada dua, jadi dua tolak ukur akademis kesejarahan dan ada tolak ukur pasar.
Oke, mungkin sekali lagi terakhir Sally, sebaiknya digunakan untuk apa ruang museum MACAN ini, baik bagi ya bukan saja para pengunjung tapi khususnya para seniman ya, untuk meningkatkan kualitas karya mereka?
Yang pasti kalau untuk seniman itu untuk semacam studi banding untuk mereka, untuk refleksi ke sini itu yang kayak gini ya yang ada diterima di halayak internasional. Sedangkan untuk pengunjung saya rasa itu deh kalau buat saya untuk menghapus stigma bahwa seniman itu kayaknya sedih banget gitu kalau jadi seniman gitu. Ternyata kan sekarang sudah ada ruang seperti ini yang mana itu mendukung untuk pameran senimannya, tapi juga infrastruktur yang mendukung seniman itu. Jadi mudah-mudahan dengan ruangan ini profesionalisme pengelolaan seni juga bisa lebih baik.
Iya, dan apresiasi kita ya terhadap karya seni juga terus-menerus meningkat karena memang dibutuhkan ya. Ini kita terlalu sekarang banyak gadget sentris semua.
Iya, betul.
Semua sesuatu yang teknologi lah. Sementara kalau seniman itu ada sesuatu yang menggetarkan hati, langsung berbicara kepada kita sebagai manusia. Sekali lagi Sally, terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih Mbak Desi.
Sukses ya.
Thank you.
Sebagai kurator independen. Iya, demikian insight kali ini langsung dari Museum MACAN, Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art of Nusantara. Siapa tahu kalau nanti Anda berada di Jakarta, jangan lupa mampir dan berkunjung ke museum ini, dan diharapkan tentu saja bisa meningkatkan apresiasi Anda terhadap karya seni yang berkualitas.